My husband said our son needed to man up, so he locked him alone in the garage to toughen him up. The child was terrified. I didn't argue. I filed. 2 weeks later, he was the one begging the judge. You know that moment when your carefully structured life shatters because someone you trusted turns parenting into punishment? One afternoon everything seemed routine until I found our boy huddled in the dark, convinced he was bad for a simple spill. That's when I realized silence wasn't strength. It was surrender. But let me explain how we got there. I'm Marge, 34, teaching elementary school in Phoenix, Arizona. I thrive on routines. Lesson plans timed perfectly, classrooms organized, kids' questions answered with patience because I might be their steady anchor in a chaotic day. We'd been together years, building a functional home, but after he lost his job things shifted. He started enforcing discipline on our 7-year-old, turning small mistakes into harsh lessons. No yelling, no hits, just cold rules like standing silent or repeating tasks until perfect. I handled the rest. Meals, bills, school runs, thinking it was his way of stepping up. But deep down doubts built as our boy grew quieter, flinching at simple corrections. I pushed back sometimes, but exhaustion from grading papers and parent meetings won out, until that garage incident exposed the real damage, forcing me to act without a single raised word. What do you think? Did I handle it right? Or should I have intervened sooner? Share your experiences with family discipline gone wrong in the comments. Let's unpack it. And if these raw revenge tales resonate, subscribe for more eye-opening stories ahead. We met at a community fundraiser a few years back. Cody was the type who showed up on time, shook hands firmly, and stuck to the schedule. No drama, no surprises, just reliable. He drove me home that night. No flirting, just straight talk about jobs and plans. We dated efficiently, moved in together after 6 months, married in a simple ceremony because why waste on extras? It worked. I focused on my classroom, planning lessons, grading stacks of papers, dealing with parents who expected miracles. He handled logistics at his warehouse job, steady pay, no complaints. We were a team, or so I thought. Then Grant came along. Pregnancy was textbook. Prenatal visits on calendar, nursery set up early. He was born healthy, 7 pounds. From day one, Cody treated fatherhood like a checklist. Bottles prepped, diapers stocked, but the warmth was on me. I nursed through nights, rocked him during colic, while Cody said you're handling it well. Keep it up. At first, I appreciated the space. Teaching second graders left me drained, endless energy for crafts and stories during the day. Then home to more. Cody stuck to routines, which helped, but after he got laid off the company downsized. New boss he called incompetent, things changed. He lounged around the house for weeks, then announced it was time to step up with Grant, make him resilient. At 3, Grant started facing rules. Spill milk? Clean it alone, no help. Cry over a scraped knee? Stand silent until calm. I came home once to find him in the corner, facing the wall. What happened? He talked back during lunch. So 20 minutes to reflect. Why 20? 1 for each year he'll regret weakness. I frowned but didn't push. Cody meant well, right? His initiatives, job searches, gym sessions kept him busy. I was exhausted from parent-teacher conferences, so I let it slide. It escalated slowly. No sugar and oats because discipline starts with diet. Cold veggies, if he fidgeted at dinner. Life isn't always comfortable. Grant grew quieter, but I convinced myself it was growing pains. One evening Cody made him repeat push-ups for dropping a toy. Tired from school runs, I said maybe ease up. You're too soft, Marge. Boys need structure or they turn weak. I bit my tongue, focused on bedtime stories with Grant instead. His little hugs felt tighter those days. The discipline grew stricter week by week. Grant had to wake up at exactly 6:45 every morning. No earlier, no later. If he overslept even 5 minutes, no cartoons that day. Cody called it building habits. One evening Grant cried from tiredness after school. Cody made him stand silently in the corner until he stopped crying. No wiping tears, no saying sorry. Just stand there, hands at his sides. I walked in and saw it, my heart tightened. Grant looked at me with red eyes but didn't dare speak. I asked Cody why. The boy needs to learn emotional control. Crying is weakness. I opened my mouth to argue but Cody cut me off. You're too soft, Marge. If we don't train him now, he'll suffer later. I stayed quiet, took Grant to bathe, told him stories until he slept. That night he hugged me tighter than usual. Then Kendra started getting involved. Cody's sister called more often. Her voice was always firm, like someone used to giving orders. Cody told her about Grant crying a lot. Kendra laughed loudly over speakerphone. Little brother, boys need to be tough. Don't let him turn into a scaredy cat. Mom raised us that way and look how successful you are now. Cody nodded, eyes lighting up. From then on he added new rules. If Grant didn't finish cold vegetables, he had to stay at the table until done. No getting up, no asking for water. One time the boy sat for 2 hours, stomach growling. I came home to find him hunched over, eyes red. I picked him up, told Cody this was too much. Cody shook his head. This is how you build resilience. Kendra agrees. She texted me afterward. Don't spoil the kid too much, Marge. He needs to be strong to survive in this world. I argued a few times. Grant is only 7, he needs love, not military training. Cody looked at me like I was from another planet. Love makes him weak? I need to teach him strength. I was exhausted after long days teaching, grading, parent meetings. I told myself he was just clumsy. That time would fix it. I didn't want to fight in front of Grant. The boy was scared enough. Those nights he lay next to me, breathing fast in his sleep. I stroked his hair and wondered what I was doing. But I still waited. Waited for Cody to see it. Waited for things to settle. I was wrong. It happened on a Saturday afternoon. I was grading math worksheets at the kitchen table when Cody took Grant to the backyard to help wash the car. Our son loved those moments. He carried the sponge, splashed water, laughed when bubbles got in his hair. I heard them talking through the open window. Cody's voice was calm at first. Good job, buddy. Keep scrubbing. Then came the splash. Grant must have tipped the bucket. Water hit the driveway. Cody's tone changed instantly. What did I tell you about being careful? Our son apologized right away. Sorry, Dad. It was an accident. Cody didn't accept it. Accidents come from carelessness. Get in the garage. Think about what you did. Grant's voice went small. But Dad. In the garage. Now. The door slammed. I waited a minute, thinking it was just a timeout. Then silence stretched too long. I set down my pen, walked outside. The backyard was empty. The bucket lay tipped over. Water pooling. Garage door closed tight. I opened it. Grant sat on the concrete floor in the dark. Knees pulled to chest, eyes wide. No light except a thin line from under the door. He looked up at me and whispered, Mom? I knelt down fast. Are you okay? He nodded but trembled. Dad said, stay here until I'm strong. I felt cold all over. I picked him up, carried him inside. He clung to me, face buried in my shoulder. I asked what happened. He spilled water. Dad got mad. Said I need to toughen up. Locked the door, told me to sit and think. How long? I don't know. It was dark. I was scared. I sat Grant on the couch with a blanket and water. Then I called the police. Non-emergency line first. My husband locked our 7-year-old in the garage as punishment. The dispatcher asked for details. How long? About 30 minutes. Was he hurt? No, but he's terrified. They sent an officer right away. While waiting, I took photos of the garage lock, the spilled bucket, Grant's tear-streaked face. The officer arrived, spoke to Grant gently. The boy repeated the story in a small voice. Dad said I have to be a man. I spilled water. He put me in there to think. The officer looked at Cody, who had come out from the house. Cody crossed his arms. It was discipline. He needs to learn responsibility. The officer shook his head. Locking a child alone in a dark space isn't discipline. It's endangerment. We're filing a report, Cody argued. It was just a few minutes. He was safe. The officer cut him off. Safe? He was terrified. We're taking this seriously. Grant held my hand the whole time. When the officer left, I told Cody to pack a bag. Stay somewhere else tonight. He stared. You're overreacting. This is parenting. I looked at our son curled on the couch. No. This is over. I called my sister for support, then took Grant to the pediatrician the next morning. The doctor noted signs of anxiety, nightmares starting again, flinching at loud voices. I scheduled a child therapist that same week. Grant whispered in the waiting room. Mom, am I bad? I hugged him close. No, sweetheart. You are good. You are loved. And I will keep you safe. The therapist's office was small and quiet. Soft colors on the walls, toys in bins, a rug for sitting. Grant went in first with the counselor while I waited outside. 20 minutes later, she called me in. Our son sat on the floor, drawing circles with a blue crayon. The counselor spoke gently. He's carrying a lot of fear right now. He believes mistakes make him unlovable. We need regular sessions to help him rebuild trust in himself. I nodded and booked twice a week. Grant looked up at me. Mom, am I still good? I knelt down. You are always good, sweetheart. Always. He hugged me tight before we left. That same afternoon, I met with a family lawyer downtown. Her office overlooked the city, files stacked neatly on the desk. I told her everything. The rules, the punishments, the garage. She listened without interrupting. This qualifies as emotional endangerment. We can file for emergency custody and a protective order. No contact until the full hearing. I signed the papers. She explained the process. Temporary order could come within days if we show immediate risk. I felt a strange calm. For the first time in years, I wasn't waiting for things to fix themselves. Cody called that evening. His voice was tight. What are you doing? The lawyer said you filed? I kept my tone even. I'm protecting our son. You locked him in the dark for 30 minutes. He needs safety, not lessons in toughness. Cody laughed once, short and bitter. That was parenting. A timeout to think. Kids need boundaries. You're turning this into a war. I said nothing for a moment. It's not a war. It's over. He raised his voice. You can't just take him away. He's my son too. I replied quietly. Then act like a father, not a drill sergeant. He hung up. The temporary order arrived 3 days later. No contact. Supervised visits only if approved later. Cody showed up at the house the next morning. He knocked hard. Marge, open the door. We need to talk. I didn't open it. I spoke through the wood. Read the order. No contact. He pounded once more. This is ridiculous. You're overreacting. Our son needs me. I stayed silent until he left. Grant watched from the hallway. Is Dad mad? I pulled him close. He's upset. But you're safe. That's what matters. I started documenting everything. Dates of past punishments, notes from the therapist, photos of Grant's drawings where he colored himself small and gray. The lawyer said evidence builds the case. Cody texted once. This is insane. Just parenting. I didn't reply. I blocked the number. Grant slept better that week. No more flinching at sudden noises. He asked for extra stories at bedtime. I gave them gladly. For the first time, I felt the ground steady under us. A few weeks into the process, Cody pushed back harder. He showed up at Grant's school during recess. No call, no permission. The teacher later told me he sat next to our son on the bench, spoke quietly for several minutes. Grant came home pale and silent. He wouldn't eat dinner. When I asked what happened, he whispered, Dad said I have to be strong or he'll never come back. I held him until he fell asleep. The next day, I spoke to the principal. No more unapproved visitors. They added Cody to the restricted list. Kendra escalated next. She mailed a letter to our address. Plain envelope, no return address. Inside was a single page in her neat handwriting. Dear Grant, your mom is making you soft. Real boys don't cry or hide. You need to toughen up so your dad can be proud. If you want him home, be better. Stop being a baby. Love, Aunt Kendra. Grant read it once, crumpled the paper and threw it in the trash. That night he woke crying. I found him sitting up in bed. Aunt Kendra says, I'm bad. I rocked him back to sleep. I kept the letter, photographed it, added it to the file. Cody tried calling from different numbers. I answered once by accident. His voice was low. Let me talk to my son. I said no. The order is clear. He laughed bitterly. You're poisoning him against me. All I did was teach him strength. I hung up and blocked the number. He left a voicemail later. You're destroying this family. Grant needs a father. I saved it for evidence. Grant started flinching again at sudden sounds. The therapist noted increased anxiety after the school incident. She recommended limiting all contact. I agreed. Kendra posted online next, a vague status on her profile. Some people think they can erase family. Boys need fathers, not smothering. Poor kid won't know how to stand on his own. She tagged mutual friends. I screenshot it, reported the post for harassment, and forwarded everything to the lawyer. The first hearing came quickly. The courtroom was plain and quiet. Wood paneling, high ceiling, rows of seats mostly empty. The judge sat high behind the bench, reading through the file. My lawyer presented the evidence. Therapist reports showing anxiety and self-blame. School notes on the unauthorized visit. Copies of the letter and voicemail. Screenshots of the online post. The judge listened carefully. Cody sat across from us. He wore a button-down shirt, looked composed but tense. His lawyer argued it was isolated incidents, parenting disagreements, no intent to harm. The judge looked at the documents again. Locking a child alone in a confined space, repeated psychological pressure, unauthorized contact after orders. This shows pattern of risk. Temporary no-contact order extended. Full hearing in 30 days. No visitation until then. Cody stood up fast. Your Honor, he's my son. I just want to see him. The judge raised a hand. Sit down. Violations will be addressed. Cody sat, face red. Kendra wasn't there, but she started calling again that night. Different numbers. I didn't answer. She left messages. You're ruining his life. Boys need fathers. Take the order off or you'll regret it. I saved each one. The lawyer said add them to the file. Evidence of harassment. Then came the final push. Kendra posted again. This time more direct. Some women think they can erase dads. My nephew is being turned soft. He deserves better. She shared an old photo of Grant smiling. Friends commented, poor kid. Hope he gets his dad back. I reported it immediately. Platform removed the post within hours. Harassment violation. I forwarded the link to the lawyer. She filed for permanent no contact on both. The full hearing lasted half a day. The judge heard testimony. Therapist spoke first. Grant shows trauma responses tied to father's actions. Continued contact would worsen symptoms. School counselor confirmed behavioral changes after incidents. My lawyer presented the timeline. Rules escalating to isolation. Violations of temporary order. Cody took the stand. He said he was teaching responsibility. Mistakes were made, but no malice. The judge asked about the garage. Cody hesitated. It was brief, to help him think. The judge looked at the report. 30 minutes in darkness for a 7-year-old. Not brief. Kendra testified next. She said she supported her brother. Boys need discipline. The judge asked about the letter. Kendra shrugged. Just encouragement. The judge shook her head. Threatening language to a child. Not encouragement. The ruling came that afternoon. Permanent no contact for Cody and Kendra. Full custody to me. Supervised visitation denied. Child support ordered. Cody stood up. This is wrong. The judge spoke firmly. Your actions created this outcome. Appeal if you wish, but comply with the order. Cody walked out without looking back. Kendra followed, whispering to him. I stayed seated until the room cleared. The lawyer shook my hand. It's done. I walked outside into sunlight. Grant waited with my sister in the car. He looked up. Is it over? I smiled. Yes, sweetheart. It's over. Months after the final ruling, life settled into a new rhythm. I found a quiet house in a peaceful Phoenix neighborhood. Sun-filled rooms, a backyard with space for running. Grant helped unpack boxes, placing his toys exactly where he wanted them. No more strict schedules. No more corners or cold plates. We eat dinner together every night. He talks about school, friends, the stories he draws. I listen without rushing. At work I earned a promotion. Assistant principal now. I oversee curriculum, support teachers, meet with families. The days are long but fulfilling. Colleagues respect my calm approach. Parents thank me for listening. Grant comes to school events sometimes. He waves from the audience when I speak. His smile lights up the room. I adopted a rescue dog named Scout. A gentle lab mix with soft ears and endless patience. Grant named him. Scout greets us at the door every afternoon, tail wagging like we've been gone years. Grant throws the ball in the yard. Scout chases it happily. They tumble together on the grass. Laughter fills the air. Those sounds were missing for too long. Cody faded from our lives completely. Mutual friends mentioned he struggled after the ruling. Stress built up. Focus slipped at work. He lost the new job too. He lives alone now, moving between temporary places. No steady routine. No contact. No appeals. Kendra's online presence quieted. Her posts stopped after the harassment reports. Friends distanced themselves. Committee invites dried up. She lost the network she relied on. No dramatic confrontation. Just consequences catching up. Grant sleeps soundly now. No more nightmares. No more flinching. He draws pictures of us three. Me, him. Scout. A happy house with open windows. He asked once if Dad would come back. I answered honestly. No, sweetheart. But you are safe. You are loved. He nodded and hugged me. That was enough. I never wanted revenge. I wanted safety. For Grant to grow without fear. For mistakes to be learning, not punishment. My dad taught me that love acts when someone needs help. It doesn't wait for permission. It doesn't stay silent. I stayed silent too long. I won't again. Protecting my son means choosing his well-being over appearances, over keeping a broken family intact. Strength isn't toughness forced on a child. It's standing up when it counts. Even when your voice shakes. Even when the world tells you to wait. I chose my son. And every day I see him smile, laugh, run free. I know it was the right choice. No one gets to take that away.